Hello, and welcome to day 2 of our 5-day Feel Your Yoga Class challenge. If you're just joining us, I am Erica, and I'm so excited to have you here. Don't forget to use the link down below to make sure that you sign up for the emails, which will include some PDF worksheets to go along with these lessons. Okay. I'm not into wasting time, so let's get right into day 2's topic. Okay, we are talking about prioritizing your time. I'm not an expert in a lot of the things that I teach people when it comes to yoga business, but I feel like I am an expert here when it comes to prioritizing time. And I also feel like this is one thing that yoga teachers as a generalization have the hardest time with. I've struggled with it, and I have developed systems that have really helped me because I've had to, right? Because of all the things that I have going on in my life. And so today I think will be super valuable. The first thing I want you to do is to, again, get really clear and honest with yourself about the current students that you have coming to your yoga classes. I don't care if your classes are online, at the park, at a gym, or a yoga studio, if that's happening in other places in the world. How are your students finding you? I want you to actually get out your pen, write down the top 3. And be careful with this. Make sure you are writing down the places where your students are really finding you, not where you would like to believe that they're finding you. So if your students are, like many of us start, your friends and friends of friends, write that. Okay. I've asked this question a lot in a lot of different communities of yoga teachers, and it's really interesting. The top place where people's students find them by far is from word of mouth, from a recommendation or a referral from someone that they know, or from someone that they actually know and have a relationship somehow. And what's really interesting to me, at least in my business, is that I will have students. I started teaching at a gym, for example, after I had my first baby, and I hadn't been teaching for a really long time. And I just wanted to get out of the house. And so I left my 5-month-old and started teaching at the gym that was closest to my house, just to give me something to do for myself. And I ended up in this gym with, like, out of 10 of the students, 5 of them were pregnant. And that's why I decided to start specializing in prenatal yoga, because I was like, oh, okay, there's something to this. This is who is drawn to what I'm doing here. Anyway, that's beside the point. I moved on from that and I started teaching prenatal yoga. I started teaching in studios. I started doing my own thing a little bit. And many years passed. Lo and behold, 1 year ago, my daughter was 7, she's 8 now. I got an email from one of those pregnant mamas that was in that class at the gym. And she was like, you're still teaching yoga. She knew that because we're friends on social media. And she's like, I am the human resources director for this big company. Do you want to come teach yoga in our conference room? So this led into a class that I was teaching, a corporate yoga class that I ended up teaching twice a week for a good year before COVID hit. So my point is this: You never know how the relationships that you develop through the years are going to come back to help support you in doing what you love. So for me, absolutely my top way that my yoga students find me is through word of mouth, is through they were doing yoga with me a long time ago, and then they were like, oh yeah, I want to do that again. Or it's referrals. It's someone that they know did a class with me and they liked it. Okay. So that said, what it is not is people who randomly find my Instagram page. What it is not is people who stumble upon my website. Although, as I've been working more on my search, that is happening more and more often. Actually, same for Instagram. But my point is this. So many of us spend hours every day really worried about how we're showing up on the internet. You know, we're putting so much effort into social media because maybe that's where we're hanging out, and we're seeing these teachers who already have a million people following them. And we think, well, they're really successful. I want to do what they're doing. And so it's really easy for us to get kind of caught in this place where we're trying to do what someone else is doing, and it's not working for us because we just don't have the following that these other bigger name teachers have. So when you are planning out how you spend your time on a day-to-day basis and a week-by-week basis, I want you to really keep coming back to this list of like, okay, where are my students actually coming from, right? And that's where you should be spending your time, like on where are you actually reaching people who need you? If it's word of mouth, then maybe going to like networking events, which I guess are on Zoom now, maybe being a part of your child's school PTA, maybe joining like a CrossFit gym where there are a lot of people and being active there, or like showing up in yoga classes. Maybe all of those things are much better uses of your time because they are more likely to help you to find people who will be interested in what it is that you are doing. I'm not saying that you should completely neglect your online presence by any means, but what I'm saying is when you don't have much time to spare, you want to be making sure that you're spending your time wisely. And so many of us just don't. Let me recap. When you prioritize what you do to spend your time on your business, prioritize one, the things that actually work to help you find your students, or to help your students find you, which is preferable. Two, if it is something that isn't like directly benefiting your bottom line, but it fills your heart and it makes you happy and it inspires you and it makes your classes better, that's the second thing that I want you to spend your time on. So like family, your yoga practice, walking outside, enjoying life, hanging out with your friends. We don't often think about how these things can make us just better at what we do. But the reality is the more inspired and the more you enjoy your life, the better you're going to be able to show up for your students, the better your classes will be, the better your energy will be when you are in front of them, and the more you will attract people to you and to your offerings. Okay, so fill out that worksheet for day 2. Tomorrow, when we come back, we are talking in more detail about relationship building. So I already talked about my student that I had many, many years ago who found me and brought me one of my best jobs that I've had ever, teaching yoga, right? But just be thinking, how many more are there out there that maybe you've lost track of over time, that maybe you've just kind of like let slip through the cracks? And it would be really as easy as just, I've been thinking about you. What have you been up to lately? How are you doing? A genuine connection could rekindle someone's interest in what you do and in yoga and bring you more students in a really quick and efficient way. So we're talking about that tomorrow, why that's important, and how to start keeping track of that so that you don't have so many students just kind of falling through the crack. Then you don't hear from them for years and years and years. Okay. Hope this was helpful.